Hello everybody and welcome back to OR Transporters. Today's a very special video as I am at Transport Heritage Expo. We'll be riding on an S set and I'll be taking a look at some heritage trains. So sit back and watch and enjoy. Okay, to start off this video we have the 621 and 721 rail cars. These ran in the Hunter Valley. Here is a view inside of the cab. We're going to be taking a closer look inside of those later. Now we're at set W3. This is a Sputnik stock train. They have a 2-3 seating configuration, so 2 seats on one side, room for 3 on the other. There is a view of the system map of when this train was around. Now we're heading into the double-deck carriage.
Sputnik carriage.
It's actually a Tulloch. So now we're in the Tulloch double-deck carriage, and these are the first double-deck carriages in Sydney. Again, they're in a 2-3 configuration and have longitudinal seating in the middle level, as well as the doors, like most of the Sydney trains. They also do have flippable seats. Pause the video if you'd like to read. And now here is a better view of that system map. Now back outside, and this is towards the front of set W3. And here is the front.
Good, how are you? Bad. Got any questions?
He's helping with all that.
Oh, okay.
Now our S set is arriving into platform number 1. Our S set today we were riding is S28. Now on S28, which is the train we'll be riding today. Here is a view of the system map. And I tried to get a look in the cab, but you couldn't really see anything. There's a heritage train from inside the S set. Now we are departing Central Station. So on today's trip we'll be heading to Ashfield, then we'll be turning around and heading towards Waverton through the city, through Central, Town Hall, Wynyard, over Harbour Bridge. Then once we get to Waverton, we will be heading into the little Waverton siding and shunting down into Lavender Bay. So unfortunately in today's video I didn't film the Central to Ashfield and Ashfield back to Central parts of the video. However, I did film everything else. So sit back, watch and enjoy the video. Now we are heading over the Harbour Bridge. ASET passing by us. Going through Milson's Point Station now.
Oh, look at the balloons. Must be someone's birthday. I don't think I got that. Would you definitely see some of this stuff?
We have just gone through Northern New Station. We're coming out the tunnel, and we are soon going to pull into siding at Waverton Station, where trains get shunted to go into Lavender Bay. So now we are pulling into the Waverton shunt siding, whatever you want to call it, and our train will be sat here for just a couple minutes before we head down into Lavender Bay. And if you've ever wondered what the middle of a S-set looks like, this is what it looks like. And now we have moved on from Waverton and we're starting our descent into Lavender Bay.
Now to your right, as we go further down, you'll see the South Stain moored in Berries Bay. Yeah. As we go further down, ladies and gentlemen, if you look to the right, past the trees, you'll see the humanity, the required Berries South Stain, moored in Berries Bay. If you get, probably
I can see it. This is our section you wouldn't be able
And as our S-set is stopping, the driver's gonna let us take a view of some vintage ferries. We got a heritage steamboat called the South Stain,
here. Sorry, thanks. Certainly not every day.
and we got these cute 3 little ferries which are used on Luna Park
We used for decades.
shuttle
Yeah,
routes.
it's a floating. It was a floating restaurant.
The one behind the floating restaurant.
Yeah, that grey thing. Yeah, that was a floating restaurant. That used to be in Rose Bay.
I genuinely think it was like an old dilapidated building.
It does look like a building. Yeah. It's certainly old and dilapidated. So we come into the tunnel within pretty soon. And we just around the corner.
Now, just before pulling into the sidings at Lavender Bay, our driver pulled up at this little area, which is on a bridge, which had no trees, and you can get some great views of the Sydney Harbour Bridge from here. I even took some photos myself. You can see Luna Park and McMahon's Point Ferry stop. Now we are actually pulling into the Lavender Bay sidings any second now. Now we are pulling into the Lavender Bay sidings. Sadly, I don't think they're such as good of a view as we saw before, as it's mainly fenced. There's quite a bit of trees, and there's an area that is covered and has a lot of benches, so it's kind of hard to see like lots of stuff. But it was quite an amazing experience coming down here. Usually 4 trains are stable down here during the off-peak. And since we were stabled here, well, not really stabled, but we were just going to sit here for like 10 minutes, I decided to walk around some other carriages, take a look. Here's what upstairs looks like. Pretty jam-packed actually on the train.
Sometimes, but normally as a rule we don't let people in the compartment because it is a working train set, and if the drivers go through the red light they can get in big trouble and sometimes get a suspension without pay, which is quite costly if you've got a mortgage.
That's the boy with the bottom.
Oh, you're the only one. Hello, darling.
That's
And just before pulling out the siding, we had to wait for this Waratah, which was pulling into platform number 2, I think, of Waverton. It was A22. And now we are departing the Waverton siding. We have just come through North Sydney now, and we are soon going to be passing Milson's Point and then over the Harbour Bridge. Now we are crossing over the harbour bridge. And I wondered what it would look like if I put my phone like next to that opening in the window to see if I'd get a better view. Now we are passing through Town Hall. Now we are coming out the tunnels, arriving into Central Platform 18, where we would be dropped off.
Mix of London and ex-government buses. I don't know if you recall, that's where Sharpie's Golf House used to be with that famous neons. Yeah. The neon sign's gone to the powerhouse, but it probably needs to be rebuilt as a rough bucket towards the end, unfortunately. Okay, everyone, we're coming into Central Platform 18 where
Train down for Central, don't begin with curfew. Please enjoy during electric instructions with the Central
Okay, we're coming into Central Platform 18.
And here we are at Platform 18 at Central. Here's a view of the driver's cab, as I wasn't allowed to go in, so I just took a view from the window.
The train on platform 18 does not pick up.
Now S28 is departing Central Station, Platform 18. And just before I left platform 18, I got a nice view of A42 arriving into platform 18 for a service to Hornsby. Now back at platforms 4 to 1, I wanted to take a closer look at some of the heritage trains. So I wanted to take a look at 621 and 721 rail car. A nice view of the interior, and here's a view of the cab. You got the handbrake and you got all the controls. And just before I left heading home, I saw this steamboat at Barangaroo running heritage services. And with that lovely steamboat, we're going to head to the outro. Alright guys, with that we're going to finish up this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment where you'd like us to film next. See you next time.